The day it all clicked, the day I understood, wasn't a day of shouting or slammed doors. It was quiet. Ow. It was the silence in our home that finally became deafening. For months, something had been off. My wife Sarah was still here, but she was gone. She'd smile, but her eyes would be a million miles away. She was glued to her phone, a device that had become a wall between us. I'd ask who she was texting, and she'd say, "Oh, just a friend from work." Mark. Just Mark. The name became a constant, a phantom limb in our marriage. I tried to ignore the gnawing feeling in my gut. I told myself I was being paranoid. We'd been together for 10 years. We had a life, a history. People get busy, they have work friends. But the distance grew. Date nights felt like business meetings. Conversations were just exchanges of logistics about bills and groceries. The laughter, the inside jokes, the easy comfort that had once been the foundation of our love. It had all vanished. She was a polite roommate, a stranger who knew how I took my coffee. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. I came home early, hoping to surprise her. The house was empty. On the kitchen counter was her tablet, left open by mistake. My heart pounded as I saw the chat window. It was him, Mark. I know I shouldn't have looked, but I couldn't stop myself. My hands were shaking as I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled. It wasn't just a few friendly messages. It was a novel of their connection. An epic of shared dreams, secret fears, and daily triumphs I was no longer a part of. He knew she was trying a new recipe for dinner, something she hadn't mentioned to me. He knew she was stressed about her presentation, a detail she'd brushed off when I asked about her day. They had their own language, their own jokes. He was her emotional confidant, her cheerleader, her partner in everything but name. I saw the words "I miss you" and "Can't wait to talk to you." I saw her telling him things I had been longing to hear for months. The compliments, the affirmations, the vulnerability. She was giving it all to him. And in that moment, reading those words on a cold screen, I realized the truth. A physical affair would have been a betrayal of her body, but this was a betrayal of her heart. She had built a new relationship, a new life, right under my nose, and I was just a leftover obligation. I wasn't replaced by another man in our bed. I was replaced in her soul. He had my wife's heart, and I was just the guy who shared her address. It was no big confrontation, no dramatic fight. How do you fight a ghost? How do you compete with an emotional connection that has already been solidified? I closed the tablet and sat in the silent kitchen, the silence now filled with the deafening roar of their words. It wasn't about another person anymore. It was about the realization that the person I had married, the partner I had loved, had already left me long before I ever knew there was someone else. She hadn't packed a bag or walked out the door, but she was gone. And I was left behind in the wreckage of a home that was no longer a home, mourning a marriage that had died in silence, one text message at a time. The hardest part is knowing that the affair didn't end our marriage. It was just proof that it was already over.